Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. What we're working on today is a prepped and ready to go cheap Cherokee. I thought you were supposed to put your ballast tanks on the bottom so that you don't submerge before you float. Oh well. What we're doing is rear springs because he's got issues. I mean, he's got serious issues. Customer bought a set of Rough Country leaf set. They're arched pretty good, so I'm sure they got some lift to them. This one's not broken over here there, but I am betting that we're going to raise up pretty good and we put those in. And I checked, and it looks like his pinion angle is pretty steep to begin with. I'm going to take a measurement here, see what kind of height we have before we start. Okay, to his rail slider here, we've got 40.5 inches. So I'll get this thing up in the air and we'll get started on it. And afterwards, I'll measure it again, see just how much he comes up. I think he's got the back end clear full of stuff. He's got this big rack on top of it. I can't get it up very high, but at least, you know, the lift will have me to where I can kind of work freely and not roll around on the ground. I'm not in any kind of shape to be doing that right now. Be back in a sec. Here's a mistake that can be made. See the tie bolt right there? The distance between the front shackle and the tie bolt is different between the rear shackle and the tie bolt. This one, I could tell just by seeing it that it was going to be different. So I got my measuring tape out and I measured it. Yep. It's 5 inches difference. So yeah, significant. Measured the old one. Yes, the short side's in the front. I assume that's usually going to be, it would make sense that the short would be in the front. But, you know, just take notice. I've seen some wicked stuff on vehicles that somebody just threw together and they didn't think. You can make mistakes. And, yeah, it could be bad, very bad. But like I said, it looked like the pinion angle was right. And it's got blocks on it. And they're welded in. So possibly it has already been cut and re-welded. But you can see the pinion angle is kind of wicked. Maybe these are old springs from the lift kit that they did before. Something along those lines. I don't know. Like I say, customer provided parts, so we're putting them on. Pulling off these giant tires because, well, they're heavy. It's going to make everything unwieldy when I try to change these springs. Do you have to pull the wheels to do this job? No, you don't have to. You also don't have to take your shoes off to change your pants, but it makes things a lot easier. Now I can get in here to do things, and yeah, it's right before lunch, so I believe I'm going to take my chaser. Well, I don't know if my chaser's that big, but I'm going to wire brush these things and hose them down with panther piss or whatever and let them soak over my lunch hour. Maybe make it a little bit easier for them to come off. because I got to reuse all that. Customer did not bring any hardware. Unfortunately, I've got to reuse these bolts and they're stuck. So my impact just sits there and bounces on them. So we'll use a different kind of wrench. Flame wrench. I'm not taking the clear off because I don't want it to fall apart. Come on, starting to get warm. There. All right, after seeing what the threads look like on those other U-bolts and the fact that one of them was kinked and had a big old chunk on the outside of it, we opted for new ones. And they're not very high. It's not worth taking the risk. New bolts, nuts, washers, the whole bit. Now I'm going to go to the other side, rinse, repeat. Oh, okay. We got her back down on the ground now. I got to torque the eyelet bolts under here because you torque them with weight on the vehicle so that your rubber bushings aren't twisted. We'll see what our measurement is. And we're measuring 41. We were 40 and a half, raised him half an inch. He's wanting more, but he'll have to put some shackles on the back to get him up a little bit higher, which is not a huge deal on this thing. everything went pretty good. We did replace the U-bolts, so we're not having a rear end flying out from under it. We're gonna go take it out for a test drive, come back in, retorque the U-bolts to make sure that they didn't scoot around, and we'll be ready to go. So like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.